Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're totally dismantling the traditional idea of sales training as this, one-time, mind-numbingly boring event. Instead, we're going to explore how to build a continuous, certification-driven playbook. Let's dive right into why the strategies that worked back in the day are officially and permanently outdated. Here is our blueprint for today. 1. The new sales reality. 2. The certification approach. 3. Transactional versus consultative selling. 4. Proven methodologies. 5. Mastering the conversation. And 6. Continuous support. Let's get to it.
Section 1. The new sales reality.
Okay, we have to face a hard truth here. The modern buyer has evolved, big time. They absolutely do not want an old-school feature dump. And honestly, a standard product demo, it just isn't that important to them in the beginning anymore. Take a look at this massive 70% figure. According to the Harvard Business Review, over 70% of executive buyers report that a salesperson's ability to demonstrate they can solve actual business problems is the absolute key to their decision-making process. It is a completely new world out there. It's incredibly costly for a business to just throw their salespeople into the field and say, hey, figure it out as you go. Moving on to Section 2, the certification approach. So if we acknowledge that buyers demand more, we really have to radically rethink how we prepare our reps to meet those demands. I mean, think about it. Would you let a surgeon operate on you if they stopped learning the second they left medical school? No way, of course not. Imagine a doctor who never bothered to understand new surgical methods or tech. Yikes. Society naturally recognizes that professionals in medicine, law, and engineering, they all require continuous training and certifications. That exact same dedication to ongoing growth absolutely must be true for sales professionals too. To put that into perspective, a McKinsey global survey found a seriously fascinating data point. Fast-growing companies were 80% more likely to achieve actual measurable commercial results from their training programs when they successfully implemented a certification-based approach. That's huge. But listen, just getting a piece of paper that means nothing, that doesn't cut it anymore. The certification needs to be legitimately hard to achieve. It needs to require meaningful skill development, and it has to carry real consequences. Let's look at a real-world example. A leading global services firm needed a serious turnaround. They ditched their once-a-year, off-the-shelf, snooze-fest workshop, and they built a program with a few key elements. We're talking tailored work related to specific accounts, 3 full days of live role plays with senior managers, real on-the-job client activities, and, this is the kicker, they tied it directly to incentive-based compensation. You couldn't just show up and zone out. You actually had to perform. And the result? They directly linked this program to more than $100 million of incremental sales opportunities in their pipeline. Talk about a game changer. Section 3, transactional versus consultative selling. Now, before you can certify your team or even pick a methodology, you've got to diagnose your specific sales motion, because these are two vastly different games. Transactional selling? Well, that's simple, short-term, and relies really heavily on impulse. It's high volume, low price. It requires salespeople who can quickly rattle off product knowledge and pricing with a super upbeat attitude. Consultative selling, on the other hand, is a whole different beast. It's long-term and entirely trust-based. You're looking at lower volume, higher price points, and way more complexity. Consultative reps face buyers who are often terrified of making the wrong choice, so the rep literally has to educate them and build this deep, meaningful relationship based on value and benefits. Section 4, proven sales methodologies. All right, once you know your environment, you need a systematic approach. The first methodology we're looking at is conceptual selling. This whole idea hinges on the fact that a consumer doesn't really buy a product, they buy the results of that product, right? So, stage 1, getting information. This is all about asking questions to uncover their decision-making process and qualify the prospect. Stage 2 is giving information. Here you tailor your solution precisely to their specific problem. You want to cut out all the irrelevant details, just snip them out. Finally, stage 3, getting commitment. Always secure an agreement for further engagement. If they refuse, it means they doubt your solution, and you need to pivot right back to listening. Next up is the spin selling framework. This one argues that asking questions is infinitely more efficient than just making statements. It breaks down into S for situation questions to understand their reasoning, P for problem questions to uncover those tricky pain points, I for implication questions, highlighting the negative effects of those problems, and N for need payoff questions. Now that last one, that is the real magic trick. It gets the buyer to explain the value of your product to you. Having the buyer articulate exactly how much money your solution saves them is vastly more powerful than you just standing there pitching it to them. It's like Inception for sales. Moving on, we have the challenger sales approach, and this one shatters a major sales myth. A lot of folks think the relationship builder is the ultimate rep, but the data shows that's actually the least efficient model. Notice that prominent 40% segment right there? Those represent challengers. These are reps who absolutely love to debate, they push the customer, and they deeply understand the customer's business. In complex sales, that number actually jumps to 50%. Believe it or not, customers genuinely appreciate a rep who can simplify complex decisions by challenging their everyday assumptions. Section 5. Mastering the sales conversation.
So, a grand strategy and a fancy methodology, they are completely useless without execution at the micro level. Interestingly enough, Time Magazine's 5 rules of conversation apply directly to this kind of daily sales execution. First, put yourself at ease. Speak slowly, show confidence. If you're nervous, your buyer's going to be nervous. Second, put others at ease by really listening and not monopolizing the airtime. Third, weave in all parties. Never ignore a key decision maker in the room, even if they're quiet. Fourth, establish shared interests by connecting the solution to their specific life and problems. And finally, number 5, actively pursue your own. Balancing a genuine interest in the customer with the active pursuit of the deal, that is exactly what makes an excellent salesperson stand out from the pack.
Section 6. Continuous training support. To ensure these conversational skills and methodologies actually stick long-term, training cannot just be a one-and-done event. To keep your team sharp, you really need a mobile-first learning experience platform, or LXP. Come on, you can't ask a rep to read a 32-page manual in between sales calls. You need micro-learning. We're talking sharing real customer reviews so reps genuinely believe in what they sell, distilling product updates and competitor insights into quick, adaptive content, and sending push notifications for rapid compliance or process changes straight to their phones. That way, they're always in the loop without totally disrupting their workflow. As we wrap up this explainer today, I really want to leave you with a provocative question. Are you actually delivering the ongoing training support your team deserves? We've seen that the modern buyer requires a problem solver, not a walking brochure. We've seen that top-tier organizations treat training like medical certifications, reaping massive financial rewards as a result. So take a hard look at your own organization today. Equip your reps to win, challenge their skills continually, and watch as your sales team transforms into an absolute unstoppable force. Thanks so much for joining me, and keep learning.